Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and I was working on a project where I needed to remove a basketball hoop from a garage for some roofing work, and basically the garage had some pretty big soffits on it, and I ended up reaching way down in between the joists with one hand, perched on a ladder, trying to reach the bolts. There were these big threaded rods from the U-bolts holding the basketball backboard on, and because they were so long, you couldn't get a ratchet on them, but even then there was very little space to move. And I thought, what I really need is one of those Wera Joker wrenches to get in there and just keep clicking back and forth. But the two that I had were the littlest. This is the, you can see they call these all the 6004s, but this is the XS for extra small. And then I've got this XXL for the extra large. I ended up using an adjustable wrench, which, I'm used to, but it sure would have been nice and faster. Actually, what I really needed was one of those new Milwaukee pass-through ratchet, electric ratchet things, but someday. Anyway, so I immediately went in and used it as an excuse to look for another tool, in particular this one. I was after kind of that Goldilocks. This says 6 to 13. A lot of bolts fit into that range. 6 to 13, I'll show you that in a sec, but also this was a 1000 volt rated or VDE rated version of it, and I like the handle. It also, if you do the VDE versions, because of this this guard, there's a way you can actually push open or align the jaws. Now most of these, when you grab them, you use your thumb to try to do that, to try to line it, assuming you can't just wedge it on there. But I thought that was pretty cool. Anyway, these are about 60 bucks. You can get this size, the same, this is the medium, the same medium size without the VDE, but I decided I'd try one of these, and yeah, I'll zap it and see what happens here. But anyway, there are a couple of differences I noticed. One is, this is really handy. It should have a little more texture, I think, but it actually is really handy, especially that's what I could have used to try to get in on the bolt, rather than having to try to pry it in on the bolt. So if you're grabbing a bolt, I'll use this guy, you can usually kind of wedge them in, and you can see there's an arrow for the direction that you turn, so you can get kind of that ratcheting motion. Now also this guard here does lift this up, so you end up having a working angle there that is not present if you're using the standard one. This one, I don't think I can get it on appropriately, but anyway, so you can see that this will run flat. Just doesn't ratchet when you've got it on something a little too big. I did like the handle. I like the feel of the rubberized coating versus the bare metal as far as control. And this 6 to 13, well, this right here, I can go onto this side here, this is an 11 millimeter. It's actually 10.99, whatever that converts to in US measurements. And this thing actually, I can get it on there and crunch away at it. So it does work. Notice I'm off to the side. If I'm tilted up, this is something right here. If this right here is hitting the board, you can see that I am losing a little bit of purchase. So I've got to be a little careful there. But let's go ahead and zap it. And then I'm going to take it one step further. This is a Weha, not a Wera, but a Weha bottle opener, but it's using what I think is the same 1000 volt rated VDE handle as the screwdriver. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I've got a 1000 volt rated bottle opener too. We'll find out. So I'm going to crank up my frequency generator here. People often ask about this. This says Electrotechnique Products Incorporated, Chicago, high frequency generator, 120 volts, 50-60 hertz. Obviously, that's what that is. But what I can do is crank this up. You can see, let's try it here. Not feeling anything. If I go up to the guard and operate this, well, I guess my frequency generator just knocked out my radio mics, so I'll just overdub this thing. So anyway, I am not getting anything across that that barrier from the handle. The voltage going in from the frequency generator, I don't feel a thing. So let's go ahead and try this bottle opener. I'm going to go with a little bit lower power here. Not quite feeling anything. Turn it up just a bit. And I already know what's going to happen because I was there. What's going to go on is there is some leakage along this seam. I can feel something coming out, some electricity coming out of that seam between the two materials. I'm going to see if I can get it to jump the gap. I've had luck in the past. You know, it goes in one end and out the other, but I can't really see anything. So it's not a strong enough jump out of that gap, but it's definitely not a 1,000-volt rated bottle opener. That's just the colors. Either that or that there's way too much metal inside or something. It's not a screwdriver, which is too bad. You know, I think a 1,000-volt bottle opener would be great. But on the regular Weha screwdriver, the 1,000-volt rated one, it's not, you feel nothing, absolutely nothing at all. So that's a good solid protection there. Not the not the bottle opener. It's appearances only. Anyway, so looking at the Wera, medium-sized Joker wrench in VDE, just an outstanding design. I really like it. It answers the call. And once you get the hang of these things, there's some little nuances with them, but once you get the hang of them, they are great wrenches. I wish I had this one. I didn't go into it. I actually had to screw two nuts together because there was so much rust or corrosion in the bolt that, I had to actually put up a set bolt or a set nut in order to hold the thing still. So other stuff just didn't spin. Strange. Anyway, so there it is, the $60 Wera VDE 13 to 16 millimeter Joker wrench. Outstanding. And with that, Doc out.